I jolted awake to the warmth of a body pressed against my back, strong arms wrapped around my waist in a way that felt too intimate for roommates. My heart pounded as I realized it was Jake, my straight-as-an-arrow best friend, spooning me like we were lovers in some forbidden dream. Panic surged through me. What the hell was happening? And why did it feel so right even as terror gripped my chest? In that frozen moment, my mind raced back to how we'd ended up sharing an apartment in bustling Chicago. Jake and I met freshman year at Northwestern, bonding over late-night study sessions and pick-up basketball games. He was the epitome of the all-American guy. Tall, broad-shouldered, with a laugh that could light up a room and a string of girlfriends who'd come and go like seasons. Me? I was Alex, the quiet literature major who'd come out in high school, navigating the world with a guarded heart after too many rejections. Living together seemed perfect. Affordable rent in Wrigleyville, shared chores, and endless banter. But I'd always harbored a secret crush on him. One I buried deep, because crossing that line would shatter everything. As I lay there, his breath steady on my neck, I wrestled with the urge to bolt. Was this a drunken mistake? We'd hit the bars last night after his latest breakup with Sarah, drowning sorrows in cheap beer and shots. He'd been unusually quiet, venting about how relationships never felt real, how he always ended up feeling empty. I'd listened, offering platitudes while my own feelings churned unspoken. Now, in the harsh light of morning, his hold tightened slightly as he stirred, and I thought, God, please don't let this be real. Because if it is, how do I face him without confessing everything? Jake mumbled something incoherent, his hand shifting on my stomach, sending a jolt through me that was equal parts fear and longing. I squeezed my eyes shut, replaying the night in my head. We'd stumbled home around 2 a.m., laughing about nothing, collapsing onto the couch before migrating to my bed because his was a mess of laundry. Or was that an excuse? My thoughts spiraled. What if he remembers? What if he freaks out and calls me a freak? The societal weight pressed down. Guys like Jake didn't just wake up gay. They punched walls and distanced themselves. Yet here he was, holding me like I was his anchor. Slowly, I extricated myself, slipping out of bed without waking him. In the bathroom mirror, my reflection stared back, pale and wide-eyed. You're an idiot, Alex, for even hoping this means something. He's straight. This is just bromance gone wrong. But deep down, a voice whispered, what if it's not? What if he's been hiding too? I splashed water on my face, trying to drown the conflict raging inside. Returning to the room, I found him sitting up, rubbing his eyes, looking as confused as I felt. Morning, he said gruffly, avoiding my gaze. Sorry about that. Must have thought you were Sarah or something. My stomach dropped. Yeah, no big deal, I lied, forcing a smile. But inside, disappointment clawed at me. Why did his excuse sting so much? We ate breakfast in awkward silence, the air thick with unspoken questions. As the day wore on, Jake acted normal, cracking jokes about work. But I caught him stealing glances, his eyes lingering longer than usual. By evening, as we watched a game on TV, he cleared his throat. Alex, about this morning. I don't know why I did that, but it didn't feel weird. Does that make me? He trailed off and my heart hammered. This was it, the moment where everything could change. I wanted to scream. Yes, it makes you question everything. But instead, I said softly, only you can answer that, man. Inside, turmoil brewed. If I push, I lose him. If I don't, I lose myself. The next few days blurred into a tense routine. Jake threw himself into gym sessions and overtime at his marketing job, while I buried myself in books, analyzing every interaction like a puzzle. One night, over pizza, he confessed, I've been thinking a lot about us, about why being with girls never sticks. His vulnerability hit me like a wave, stirring my own doubts. Am I just a convenient experiment? Or is this real? The conflict tore at me, society whispering that straight guys don't flip switches, that I'd be the villain for hoping. As weeks passed, subtle shifts emerged. Jake's touches lingered. A hand on my shoulder, a hug that lasted too long. My inner monologue screamed warnings. Don't fall deeper. He'll break you. But hope flickered, dangerous and alive. The tension between us simmered like a pot about to boil over. Every shared glance loaded with unspoken accusations and desires. I found myself questioning everything. Had I misread his signals all along? Or was Jake genuinely unraveling his own identity? Deep inside, a storm raged. If I confront this, I risk our friendship. If I ignore it, I betray my heart. Work became my escape, pounding away at my laptop in our cramped living room while Jake paced the kitchen, pretending to cook. He'd started opening up more, late-night talks where he'd admit, "I never felt this connected to anyone before. With you, it's different, easy but terrifying." His words ignited a fire in me, but doubt extinguished it just as quickly. What if he's just lonely? What if society labels him, us, as freaks? Chicago's progressive vibe masked the undercurrents of judgment. I'd seen friends ostracized for less. One evening, after a particularly grueling day, Jake suggested we grab drinks at our local dive bar. The place was packed with couples, straight and otherwise, amplifying my inner chaos. As we nursed beers, he leaned in. "Alex, that morning, I didn't think you were Sarah. I knew it was you." My breath caught, a whirlwind of emotions crashing. Elation, fear, anger at his delay in confessing. "Why didn't you say something sooner?" I whispered, my voice cracking. He looked away, shame etching his features. "Because I'm scared shitless. My family's conservative, Dad's a vet, Mom's in the church group. They'd disown me if they knew I was questioning." His admission pierced me. I knew that pain, having lost touch with relatives after coming out. But now it fueled my own conflict. Am I selfish for wanting this, knowing the cost to him? Back home, the air crackled with intensity. We sat on the couch, closer than usual, his knee brushing mine. "Tell me to stop if this is wrong," he murmured, his hand finding mine. Electricity surged, but my mind screamed. This could destroy him, us. Society's expectations loomed like shadows. Straight men experiment, then run back to normalcy, leaving the gay guy heartbroken. The next morning, regret hit like a hangover. Jake avoided eye contact, mumbling about errands. I retreated to my room, journaling furiously. Why does love have to be a battlefield? Why can't it just be? Hours later, he knocked. "I can't pretend anymore. Being with you feels right, but everything else screams wrong." Tears welled in his eyes, mirroring my own turmoil. We talked for hours, dissecting his past relationships, how they'd felt performative. With Sarah, it was like acting in a play. With you, it's real. His honesty deepened my affection, but amplified the stakes. What if his family finds out? What if he resents me for pulling him into this? Days turned into an emotional roller coaster. Jake started researching online, reading about fluidity and bisexuality, sharing articles with me. "Maybe I'm not straight after all," he'd say, hope flickering. But doubt plagued him. What if I'm just confused? My heart ached for him, echoing my own early struggles. I wanted to protect him, but loving him meant risking exposure. One night, during a heated argument about hiding, he snapped, "You don't get it, Alex. Coming out isn't just words. It's losing everything." His pain cut deep, forcing me to confront my impatience. Am I pushing too hard? Is my love worth his sacrifice? As the conflict escalated, whispers from friends began. "You two seem close," a mutual buddy remarked at a party. Jake froze, excusing himself early. Later, alone, he broke down. "I can't do this if it means sneaking around forever." His vulnerability shattered me. I held him, whispering assurances, but inside, fear gnawed. What if he chooses safety over us? The emotional weight grew heavier, each day layering more doubt and desire. Society's gaze felt omnipresent, judging our every move. Yet, in quiet moments, his touch reminded me why it was worth fighting. The chasm between what we felt and what the world expected widened, tearing at our souls with every passing day. Jake's internal war mirrored my own resurrected demons, forcing me to question if love could survive such relentless assault. Deep down, I battled the fear that I'd become his regret, the catalyst for his unraveling. Family loomed larger now. Jake's parents visited from the suburbs, oblivious to the storm brewing. We played roommates flawlessly, high fives instead of hugs, separate bedrooms emphasized. But as his mom chatted about grandkids and his dad grilled him on dating, Jake's face paled. Later, alone, he confessed, "Hearing them talk like that kills me. They expect the perfect son. Straight, married, kids." His anguish fueled my own. Am I worth dismantling his life? Society's blueprint for normalcy mocked us, whispering that our bond was an aberration. The disputes intensified. One evening, after a secretive dinner where we held hands under the table, Jake exploded. "Why can't we just be open?" "But no, my job. Corporate America isn't ready for a gay exec." He paced, fists clenched. I countered, "It's not about them. It's about you accepting yourself first." But inside, hypocrisy stung. I'd hidden crushes before to avoid pain. His struggle unearthed my buried resentments. Why must we fight harder for love? Friends became unwitting battlegrounds. At a group hangout, someone joked about bromance, and Jake laughed too loudly, overcompensating. Later, he admitted, "I hate lying to them, but coming out means choosing sides." Tears streamed as he hugged me fiercely. My heart fractured. Loving him means watching him suffer. Is that fair? Online forums offered solace and poison. Jake scrolled endlessly, reading stories of men like him, late bloomers facing backlash. Look at this guy. Lost his family but found happiness. Optimism sparked, but doubt followed. What if I lose more than I gain? I shared my coming out tale, the isolation and eventual freedom, but his fear amplified mine. What if he blames me when it hurts? A turning point came during a weekend getaway to Lake Michigan, disguised as a bro trip. Under starry skies, away from prying eyes, Jake kissed me. Soft, tentative, then passionate. "This is what I've been missing," he whispered. Euphoria surged, but morning brought reality. "Back home, this vanishes." His words stabbed. I thought, how long can we live in shadows before they consume us? Back in Chicago, societal pressures mounted. Jake's boss made homophobic jokes at a meeting, leaving him shaken. "If they knew," he trailed off. I held him as he sobbed, my own tears falling. The emotional toll deepened. Guilt for urging authenticity, terror of losing him to conformity. Conflicts spilled into daily life. He skipped a family event citing work, but really to avoid questions. His mom called, worried. "You're distant, son. Is there a girl?" The lie he told broke him further. That night, he raged inwardly. Why can't love be simple? Why must it cost so much? As emotions peaked, a mutual friend confronted us. "Are you two together?" Jake denied it vehemently, later apologizing profusely. I panicked. His betrayal stung, reopening old wounds of rejection. But forgiveness came, laced with understanding. His journey wasn't mine. The drama escalated, each revelation peeling layers of vulnerability. Society's chains tightened, but our bond, fragile yet fierce, persisted amid the chaos. Waves of despair crashed relentlessly, drowning us in a sea of what-ifs and shattered illusions. As Jake's denial morphed into a weapon against himself and me, the weight of unspoken truths pressed heavier, forcing me to confront the possibility that our love was a mirage, doomed by his unyielding fears. Inside, a torrent raged. If I let go, I save him pain. If I hold on, I risk us both. The breaking point arrived unannounced. Jake's family hosted a barbecue, insisting he bring a date. He asked a female coworker, Sarah's friend, to pose as his girlfriend. Watching him prepare, laughing on the phone with her, jealousy poisoned my thoughts. "This is temporary," he assured, but his eyes betrayed doubt. At the event, though I wasn't there, he texted updates. "Mom's thrilled. Dad's talking weddings." Each message twisted the knife. Am I just a secret he'll bury forever? Home that night, he returned defeated. Pretending was hell. Every laugh felt fake. He collapsed into my arms, sobbing. I want to tell them about us, but the thought paralyzes me. His raw honesty intensified my turmoil. Love shouldn't demand such sacrifice. Yet here we are, battling invisible foes. Societal backlash hit closer. A coworker outed a colleague, sparking office gossip. Jake overheard slurs, returning home ashen. If that's how they treat him. Terror gripped him, fueling nightmares. I comforted, but inwardly despaired. How can I compete with a world that hates what we are? Arguments turned vicious. You're ashamed of me, I accused one night after he dodged a public hug. No, I'm ashamed of myself, he shouted back, voice breaking. The admission hung heavy, exposing his self-loathing. My heart shattered. I thought, his pain is mine now, intertwined, inescapable. Therapy became his lifeline. Sessions unearthed childhood pressures, dad's machismo, mom's expectations. They raised me to be normal, he shared. Progress flickered. Maybe I can come out. But setbacks followed. A family call where he chickened out. I'm not ready. Frustration boiled in me. When will you be? Patience waned, replaced by resentment. A scandal rocked our circle. A friend disowned for being bi. Jake spiraled, questioning everything. What if that's me? He distanced himself, sleeping on the couch. Isolation clawed at me. Without him, who am I? Nights alone amplified doubts. Perhaps he's right. Society wins. Reconciliation came in whispers. One dawn, he slipped into my bed again, echoing that first morning. I can't lose you. Tears mingled as we talked, vulnerabilities laid bare. But the emotional depth plunged further. Admitting love meant facing annihilation. As high drama unfolded, external forces intervened. Jake's sister visited unexpectedly, sensing tension. Bro, you seem off. Spill. He confessed partially, questioning sexuality. Her support surprised. I love you no matter what. Hope bloomed, but his parents remained the Goliath. The conflict crested, emotions rawer than ever. Society's judgment loomed, but our shared suffering forged unbreakable ties, or so I prayed. In the abyss of ultimate reckoning, every breath carried the agony of potential farewell. As Jake stood at the precipice of self-destruction or salvation, dragging my soul along, the cumulative torment peaked, leaving no room for pretense. Only the brutal honesty of hearts laid bare amid societal scorn. Deepest within, I grappled with the finality. If he chooses denial, I must release him. If truth, we face the inferno together. The climax erupted during Thanksgiving. Jake's family gathered, expectations high. He planned to come out rehearsing speeches. This is for us, he vowed, kissing me goodbye. Hours ticked like bombs. My mind tormented. What if they reject him? What if he crumbles? He returned shattered. I told them. Dad stormed out. Mom cried, asking what she did wrong. Devastation etched his face, amplifying my guilt. Did I push him into this abyss? He recounted the chaos. Accusations of confusion. Please to fix it. They think it's a phase, that you're influencing me. Rage surged in me, but sorrow dominated. Their love, conditional, poisoned his. Nights blurred into grief. Jake isolated, staring blankly, whispering, was it worth it? I held him through breakdowns, my own fracturing silently. Society's echo chamber amplified. Online trolls, news of hate crimes, reminders that our love invited violence. Healing flickered tentatively. His sister mediated, urging understanding. A family meeting loomed, tense with ultimatums. Choose, us or him, his dad implied. Jake's resolve wavered. I can't abandon them. Betrayal pierced me. After all this, family trumps love? The confrontation exploded. In their living room, accusations flew. You're throwing away your life, his mom wailed. Jake defended. This is my life with Alex. Pride swelled in me, but fear lingered. At what cost? Resolution came painfully, partial acceptance, strained hugs, promises to try, but scars remained. Back home, Jake reflected, it hurts, but hiding hurt more. Our bond deepened, forged in fire, yet fragile. Months later, stability emerged amid ongoing battles. Society's debates raged, laws, opinions, but our story persisted, a testament to resilience. In the end, as we navigated the aftermath, one question lingered, sparking endless debate. Was Jake's awakening a genuine self-discovery, or merely a rebellion against societal norms that could fade with time?